Hey Yonsuk, what are you watching?
Oh, hey. This is a historical blog I've been watching these days. You want to see?
Now you're studying history, let me see. Hey, I'm a bit confused.
As you see, apparently Korea used to dominate almost the entirety of Eurasia and then Africa.
Bro, it doesn't make sense at all. Do you even believe it?
Oh yeah, sure. What do you mean that it does not make sense? There's this expert guy explaining Korean conquest of Arabia and how they tamed dinosaurs. Hey, this channel I watch, it's so informative and it's my favorite. Actually, there's a lot of evidence that English originated from Korea.
You're finally awake. What are you even on? These things are obviously misinformation.
Misinformation? No, it can't be. They gave out these records and evidences
Which are most likely to be fake. You have to learn to be able to distinguish between this kind of fake news and actual reliable information. Now you must listen to what I'm about to say.
Okay.
The internet fundamentally changed how we use information. It allowed information to spread everywhere, but it also brought along a huge amount of false and misleading ones.
Social media amplifies the emotional and shocking stuffs. And misinformation is designed to trigger reactions like fear and anger. That's why it spreads quicker than real information. It became more of an issue during the situations like COVID.
COVID? I remember seeing a news article saying that vaccination lets the government implant a chip to control you. Maybe that was also misinformation? I remember the panic I had over it.
Exactly. Things like fear of vaccines were all caused by online rumors. Misinformation is also being used as a part of political tactics, and its impact is constantly getting stronger as the technology advances.
You mean things like AIs?
Yes, especially AI. Generative AI can make text, images, videos, and even voices that look real. And it can scale indefinitely. You can make thousands of them in minutes.
I've seen people now saying this is AI generated as a way to discredit something.
That's part of the problem. Even real content can get accused of being fake. So now we're not just fighting misinformation, we're fighting confusion about what's real at all.
So how can you tell something is suspicious? Do misinformation have certain common features?
They definitely do, and one of the biggest clues is language. Fake news tend to be very emotional. More negative words, more anger, more intensity. Don't you see some common characteristics of the videos from your favorite channels?
Well, they seem to contain a lot of emotional expressions.
Exactly. Real news tries to stay factual and calm, while fake news wants to feel something strong instantly.
But besides tone, is there anything else?
Yes, fake news statistically uses more verbs and adjectives to add emotion, and more pronouns like you or we, because they want to make the writing to sound more personal.
That's interesting. Analyzing the article's words would provide strong evidence for whether something is fake or not. A lot of videos I've used to watch had these thumbnails with exaggerated words and colorful fonts. They were meant to provoke, not summarize.
Exactly, and they sometimes even pretend to look like real media outlets.
But pretending how?
Using similar logos, similar layout, sometimes even copying article formats from trusted outlets.
I assume how the content spreads matters too.
Yes, maybe the most important part. False news spreads faster, farther, and deeper in the network.
Why deeper?
Because people are more likely to share something surprising. Studies shows misinformation often travels up to 6 or 7 hops away from the original poster.
You also mentioned that AI is now playing a big part of creating misleading information. So, how is AI-generated misinformation different from regular misinformation?
Researchers found that AI misinformation is usually better crafted. One study compared human-made COVID misinformation with AI-made versions.
What differences did they find?
AI-generated misinformation tend to use stronger emotional language, but in a polished way. For example, they use more cognitive processing words like because, therefore, or suggests, and they oftentimes add vivid details that weren't in the original sources. They also tend to invent fake expert names, statistics, or citations.
Wow. So you mean AI basically produces more persuasive lies?
That's correct. AI-generated misinformation feels rational, scientific, and emotionally compelling all at once.
And what about visual information? The fake images?
Deepfake images often have subtle flaws like unnatural textures, hands with many fingers, mismatched reflections, or strange background patterns. Now take a look at the Egyptian dinosaur archer drawing you've seen from the video. Did you notice anything?
Oh, I see. The archer is missing a leg and his hand looks weird. He's also not holding the arrow properly. These things are indicators of AI images, right?
Yes, see, you can notice it if you're careful enough.
So I guess AI-generated videos and audios will also have some distinct features like this.
Absolutely. They might look realistic at a glance, but there's just typical flaws like unnatural head movements or blinking. And AI voices also have things like unnatural rhythm or strange pauses.
So how do we fight all this? Do humans still play a role?
Absolutely. Take Access community notes. Volunteers add context to the post, but a note only becomes visible if users from different political viewpoints thinks it's helpful.
Oh, so it reduces bias.
Right, and it works surprisingly well. After a community note is attached, the original poster becomes 80% more likely to delete the misinformation, and retweets of the misleading content drop to nearly half.
That's actually impressive.
Traditional fact-checkers like PollyFact and AFP still do the important work too. They investigate claims thoroughly.
But AI makes things harder for them?
Yes, AI-generated misinformation often looks credible. Confident tone, academic citation, and clean structures. It meets the surface-level criteria that humans use to judge legitimacy.
So you mean computers are better at this?
In many cases, yes. For example, a model reached 98% accuracy in detecting AI-generated text.
What does it detect exactly?
Subtle patterns humans can see, like sentence distribution, token frequency, and stylistic fingerprints.
And for images?
One model extracts camera noise patterns from an image. Real images have consistent camera noise and deepfakes don't. That method reached 99.15% accuracy and 99.92% AUC.
Oh, that's near perfect.
Yes, but detectors need constant updates. As AI improves, the old detectors becomes obsolete fast. No matter how advanced detection systems become, misinformation still reaches people, and people decide whether to believe it, ignore it, or share it.
So we need to be able to distinguish AI content ourselves.
Exactly. AI-generated content is getting so natural and clean that you can't rely on obvious mistakes anymore. The responsibility shifts to the user to stay aware, to keep that AI possibility in mind whenever consuming the online content.
So it's about building habits?
Yes, simple habits like asking, does this source seem credible? Or is the headline a clickbait? Or is this AI-generated content?
Yeah, the last one seems especially important now.
For sure, with generative AI, everything online has a non-zero chance of being synthetic. Text, images, videos, and even voices of people you know. Being aware of the possibility changes how we evaluate information online.
So we can think of it as AI literacy. Just like we teach media literacy, how to question sources, how to recognize bias, we now need literacy for AI content. Understanding how AI writes, how deepfakes are made, and what kinds of mistakes AI tends to produce.
Right. Staying aware means becoming resilient. And when individuals are resilient, misinformation loses a huge part of its power.
That actually makes sense. If people don't fall for misinformation in the first place, it doesn't spread as fast.
Exactly. Detection systems help, but individual awareness is what slows the problem. Every person who pauses before sharing plays a part in stabilizing the information ecosystem.
Guess I was so ignorant of the online misinformation. You're right. The things that I was watching does not make sense. I gotta unsubscribe all these channels.